Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're demystifying exactly how real-world assets are being legally and securely traded on public blockchains. We are sitting right on the precipice of a massive shift here. Trillions of dollars in traditional finance are getting ready to migrate over to decentralized technology. But how do massive institutions actually pull this off without, completely breaking the law? Well, you are in the right place. We're looking at a groundbreaking standard called ERC-3643, and it is literally rewriting the rules of digital ownership.
Let's start with a massive challenge. How do you put a $50 million building, a corporate bond, or an entire fleet of commercial ships onto the blockchain? You can't just drop fractional ownership of a skyscraper into some anonymous crypto wallet. In the real world, securities laws require issuers to know exactly who holds their instruments at all times, right? They've got to enforce strict rules around jurisdiction, trading limits, investor accreditation, the whole shebang. So bringing these highly regulated assets into the crypto space without triggering massive regulatory violations, that requires a completely new rulebook.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. The RWA compliance problem. 2. Introducing ERC-3643. 3. On-chain ID and verifying identity. 4. Smart contracts enforcing rules. And finally, 5. Institutional real-world adoption.
First up, Section 1, the RWA compliance problem.
So why do standard tokens fail when it comes to regulated assets? Well, think of standard crypto kind of like the Wild West. Take the ERC-20 standard, for example. It's the technical framework for the vast majority of crypto you've probably heard of. It's inherently permissionless. That means anyone can send it to anyone, anywhere in the world with absolutely zero identity required. Great feature for a meme coin, but totally illegal for securities. Then we have ERC-3643. This is more like a highly secure gated community. It is strictly permissioned. It requires an on-chain ID, and it restricts transfers based on a complex web of compliance rules. It doesn't just record ownership after the fact, it actively prevents unauthorized ownership right at the protocol level.
Moving to Section 2, introducing ERC-3643.
ERC-3643 wasn't just built yesterday in a rush. Let's look at the timeline. It was actually created back in 2018 by a company called Tokeny, originally known as the T-Rex protocol, to address a glaring gap in institutional tokenization. Fast forward to 2021, it's introduced as an Ethereum improvement proposal. By 2023, it's formally accepted, and in 2024, it finally reaches final status as an officially ratified standard. This journey really matters. It means this framework was battle-tested in the live market for years. It proved its absolute security and reliability before ever becoming the official Ethereum standard for regulated securities.
Section 3, On-chain ID, verifying identity. So, here is the million-dollar question. How do you verify someone's identity without exposing all their highly sensitive data on a public ledger? The answer is on-chain ID. It's a decentralized identifier smart contract, and every single participant carries one. Think of it as a highly secure digital passport. But it absolutely does not store your physical passport or your real name directly on the blockchain. That would be a total privacy nightmare. Instead, it stores cryptographic references. Basically, there's secure digital fingerprints proving that a trusted provider successfully verified your KYC and AML claims. So, on-chain ID gives you the green light to the smart contract without broadcasting your personal details to the rest of the world. But just having an ID isn't quite enough. You need to actually be on the guest list for a specific asset. Enter the identity registry. This is the ultimate gatekeeper whitelist. It logically links your wallet address, your on-chain ID, and your ISO country code. Before a single token can move, the system checks this exact registry to make sure both the sender and the recipient are explicitly authorized. And since it's dynamic, if your real-world ID expires off-chain, your ability to receive new tokens on-chain is instantly revoked.
Section 4, smart contracts enforcing rules.
Let's see how these identity checks combine with strict legal rules to act as a relentless digital bouncer. Through a modular compliance contract, token issuers can hard-code complex regulatory requirements directly into the asset itself. The flexibility here is just staggering. Want to set jurisdictional limits, like capping the max number of investors from a certain country? You can do that. Need position limits so a single whale investor doesn't take over your fund? Easy. What about temporal rules, like lockups and vesting periods? Or state controls to completely freeze or pause wallets if something goes wrong? The smart contract handles it all, automatically, flawlessly executing the law as code. Let's break down the split-second life of a transaction. Step 1, someone initiates a transfer. Step 2, the system instantly checks the on-chain ID registry to make sure both parties are verified. Step 3, it sweeps through that modular compliance contract to verify absolutely all jurisdiction and compliance rules. Step 4, it either executes or automatically blocks the transfer. If a single check fails along the way, the smart contract slams the door shut. The transfer is instantly blocked. There's no human compliance officer reviewing this on a lag. The code simply refuses to execute an illegal trade. Now, we've all heard the horror stories of early crypto investors losing millions of dollars just because they lost a password, right? Well, in traditional finance, that is entirely unacceptable. ERC-3643 solves this beautifully with a forced transfer function. It enables authorized agents, like the token issuer or a legal custodian, to actually recover and reassign tokens if an investor loses their private key or if a court mandates a legal seizure. And importantly, doing this leaves a completely transparent on-chain audit trail. That makes it incredibly safe and practical for real-world legal environments.
Finally, Section 5, Institutional Real-World Adoption.
So with all this incredible tech, is anyone actually using it right now? The answer is a massive yes. Over $32 billion in real-world assets have already been tokenized using the ERC-3643 standard. That is a staggering amount of capital currently running on this framework, and it spans across more than 180 different jurisdictions globally, proving it works across entirely different legal landscapes. This standard has earned explicit recognition from some of the heaviest hitters in global finance. It was literally cited by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in a no-action letter to the DTC, calling it a compliance-aware protocol. It's actively being adopted by massive institutions like the DTCC, plus heavyweight asset managers like Franklin Templeton and Invesco. There is even a massive initiative underway right now to officially make ERC-3643 a global ISO standard. So what are our core takeaways today? Ultimately, ERC-3643 bridges traditional finance with decentralized blockchain rails. It acts as an unbreakable shield, preventing illegal transfers natively at the protocol level. It brilliantly protects your privacy using on-chain ID verifiable claims. And, critically for developers, it maintains complete backwards compatibility with existing ERC-20 tools. That is exactly why it's rapidly becoming the institutional standard for tokenization. I will leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. We are watching the foundation of a brand new, highly efficient global financial system being laid out in real time. By embedding the law directly into the blockchain, secure, regulated, and decentralized ownership is finally a reality. As trillions of dollars in real-world assets prepare to migrate, what traditional financial instrument do you think will be the next to become entirely code-driven? Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and I'll catch you next time.